This is movement, and these experiences should be an integral part of every child's life. In many cases, boys and girls do not have the chance for extensive play experiences away from school. Because yards are too small for tumbling and streets are too dangerous for running, the child finds himself confined. Climbing trees may damage the tree. To climb the neighbor's fence causes him to worry about liability. As a result, many children are robbed of the experiences of creative play and vigorous activity. To encourage as many movement experiences as possible becomes the responsibility of the teacher. The child who has a solid background in motor development will in turn be a more competent and completely functioning human being. This is movement exploration, an ideal way to introduce basic skills to children. It generates enthusiasm and provides continuous activity for all the children in a group. At the same time, movement exploration allows each child to progress at his own rate in a non-competitive, accelerating learning situation. Children appearing in this film are from 4 to 10 years of age. They represent different grade levels to demonstrate that movement exploration is adaptable to children of all ages. For the purpose of showing that movement exploration is taught by both men and women, the authors in the film will alternate as the demonstrating teachers. The organization of a class is one of the teacher's first considerations. It is traditional that physical education be taught from lines, circles, and other prearranged formations. This is understandable when the children are expected to wait for turns to perform. Lines also provide an external control on rambunctious youngsters. In movement exploration, the most common formation is one which is scattered. Because all children are active simultaneously the majority of the time, there is very little need to take turns. The only considerations are that each child have enough room to move comfortably and that each child be able to hear the teacher. Spread out is the term used to position the children for participation. This scattered formation is consistent with the expressiveness of movement exploration.
That's the way. I still heard a lot of pitter-pat that time. Now I want you to run in a circle and run in this direction. Are you ready? All right, ready? Run as fast as you can go. Freeze. Very good. All right, boys and girls, let's go back in the circle, but run this way instead. Go.
Each teacher venturing into the program will undoubtedly see responses from children that no one else has witnessed. In turn, he will probably challenge his students in novel ways. The spontaneity and eagerness to explore the potentials of movement exploration are the very factors that make the exploration of movement exciting. One of the most important aspects of movement exploration is the phrasing of the questions or challenges. The challenge is the medium through which movement exploration is conducted. If the teacher is not constantly aware of how the question sounds and how they may be interpreted, much will be lost. The teacher should strive to be exact in stating challenges, and the child should be trained to interpret the teacher literally. How small can you be? How wide can you be? The teacher must also be aware that there may be several correct responses for any given challenge. The varied responses are creative attempts on the part of the students. Confusion and teacher frustration can be avoided if the teacher presents a challenge to be undertaken as soon as the individual boy or girl gets the necessary equipment. When you are given a ball, take it on the grass and see how high you can toss the ball, catching it before it bounces. It is unnatural to expect any boy or girl to hold something as exciting as a ball until the entire class is supplied. Child is separately engaged in analyzing the problems and seeking a solution within the limitations of his own physical and mental abilities. How many times can you clap your hands before catching the tossed ball? By having to concentrate on the solution of a problem rather than solely on himself, the child becomes completely involved in the lesson. There is little time to be critical of classmates. In spite of large classes, each child performs as an individual. The less skilled as well as the highly skilled are challenged. Each child feels successful. Besides the enthusiasm and general qualifications that are necessary for all successful teaching, one who uses the movement exploration approach should know the differences among certain basic motor skills and when a skill is being performed correctly. Such actions as bouncing, volleying, throwing are different from one another, and dissimilarities must be recognized before any program in physical education can be skillfully taught. In addition, the teacher should understand competent physical performance and guide her class toward optimum achievement. Teacher demonstrations have no place in movement exploration. Consequently, the teacher need not be an accomplished performer. A major objective of every physical education program, including movement exploration, is physical fitness. By exposing the class to as many varied and demanding challenges as possible, the teacher guides the children through movement experiences that cause them to gain in strength, endurance, agility, and general coordination. Improving one's fitness level is fun when play equipment can be manipulated to solve a movement task. Jumping in and out of a spinning hoop, for example, increases one's endurance, while diving through a rolling hoop requires timing and agility. to prevent over-fatigue, the teacher must constantly evaluate the children's conditions and interject less vigorous activities when they seem appropriate. Children find enjoyment in experimenting with hula hoops. Combining these with ballast beams or balance boards provide many additional exciting challenges. Because there are no class standards for achievement, the children do not feel pressured to copy another child's performance. For this reason, they select skills within their own levels of ability and do not endanger their safety. Such challenges as, can you find a new way to use your hula hoop, allow for considerable inventiveness, the results of which are often new ideas that the entire class can try. Returning equipment informally is no problem when the children learn self-discipline through movement exploration. These children are exploring the concept of spatial awareness, that is, their position in relation to another object or person. 4 basic factors combine to form the concept of spatial awareness. These are area size, direction, speed, and the number of participants. All movement requires space, and the complexity of a movement within or through that space is dependent upon the blending of these 4 points in several different combinations. The progression in speed moves from slow to fast. In spatial awareness, therefore, the simplest activities involving group movement are performed walking. Later, the tempo advances to a fast walk and continues to increase until all children are running at a speed that remains just within the threshold of their individual control levels. The ultimate degree of difficulty is for all participants to move in any direction they desire and to change that direction whenever they wish. In this case, not only must each child decide on the path he wants to follow, but he must anticipate the actions of every other child.
This way! Go! Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry around, come on! Freeze!
A child's coordination is tested through rope activities in movement exploration. Children who have motor problems are noticeably below average in their abilities to balance. Walking the tightrope or jumping, spinning, and landing are helpful activities for such boys and girls. For children who have difficulty in taking body parts across the midlines of their bodies, crisscrossing their feet or hands over the rope gives them opportunities to practice these skills. The challenge. Find a new way to move along the rope using your hands and feet without touching the rope. Produces inventive performances. Being able to fit oneself into small and large spaces helps a child to learn his body image. a concept that is basic to future body control. Teaching through the use of apparatus stations is one method of providing total activity for a class when there is a limited amount of each type of large apparatus available. Discarded automobile tires provide all one needs to improvise in a creative, inexpensive atmosphere. The challenges are almost limitless. Can you run through the tires and put a foot in each one? In response to many challenges of movement, there is very little chance for one to rest. However, due to the strenuous nature of some activities, such as running through the tires, it is necessary to allow children time to recover. Girls, in particular, enjoy exploring the possibilities of the balance beam. Rebounding from an inner tube requires considerable body control and gives the children still another experience in reacting to their environment. Boys enjoy the balance board as they dream of surfing. Because children enjoy and benefit from large apparatus, this equipment should be included in every movement exploration program. Motor development is a principal goal of physical education, but it is not unique to this field. Because gross motor skills are actions on which more specific or texturous movement patterns are established, all educators should be interested that each child receive the chance to develop large muscle control. The teacher of movement exploration, therefore, should include in the curriculum running, jumping, and other locomotor skills, as well as large muscle activities that relate to specific sports and games.